I think Central Richmond is perfect in that sense because you're just spoiled for choices. Like, I literally have to think, okay, do I go to Baker Beach today, or do I go to Ocean Beach today, or should I go to Land's End, or should I go to Golden Gate Park or Presidio? It's just, I can just go on a walk every day and it just feels different, and it's just stunning. That place, if you love nature,
Yeah.
you could just pick a new destination every day and not repeat for days.
Welcome to the Bay Insider with Amanda and Ying, where we talk about history, lifestyle, and real estate in the San Francisco Bay Area.
Welcome, everyone. I have Amanda here, and I also have our special guests, Thomas and Riya. We're going to talk about Central Richmond. So Thomas and Riya are new to Central Richmond. They have been here for
1 year.
1 year,
A
right?
little over a year. Yeah.
July 11th when I
That's right.
checked. So you are the newest members of Central Richmond. We can't wait to hear your stories about Central Richmond and how much you love it or hate it, whatever that might be. But before that, I want to have a little background story. So I met you guys through your sister. Before that, your uncle and aunt. So I have known you guys for a long time.
Yeah.
You both work in the tech industry.
Yeah.
And Thomas actually works for Spotify, which is
great because this will be on Spotify.
exactly. Riya is a data scientist.
Yeah.
Right? And
A data analyst.
Or analyst.
analyst.
A data analyst.
And one thing very special about Riya, you guys got to know. Amanda, you don't know that yet. She is a fantastic cook.
Oh, wow.
Not only she's a foodie. She's the 100% foodie. You probably know that by now based on our conversation. But she is a fantastic cook.
Thank you.
When I was at her house last time, she made this duck curry. And also those bread, not Italy appams.
Yeah.
Oh, what? What is that?
It's like rice
And coconut. It's ground together and fermented.
Wait, you make a bread out of rice and coconut?
Yeah.
That's like
freshly.
the best thing I can
Yeah,
imagine.
it's really
It's a
good.
process.
And you didn't bring us any tonight.
No.
Unfortunately
time.
not.
We'll go to her house next time.
Yeah.
But she made those just lovely coconut pancake. Let me just call them coconut pancake.
Yeah, that's the closest
for me right now.
Yeah.
And they are just the best I've ever had. So one day she might have a cooking show. Just
That would be
keep that in
exciting.
mind.
Wow, that would be the dream.
All right. So before we interview Thomas and Riya, we want to talk about Central Richmond a little bit. So let's start with geography. North of Central Richmond, Lake Street, Sea Cliff. On the west is Outer Richmond. South is Golden Gate Park. And east is Inner Richmond. And the divider is Park Presidio. The Richmond district, like the rest of the western part of the city, that was outside lands. And in our previous episode, we talked about Suzhou and how he developed the whole area. After the earthquake in 1906, lots of construction happened in the Richmond area to provide housing. So that's the start of outer Central Richmond.
Yeah. Did you guys know that it used to be just nothing but sand dunes out?
Yeah.
Most of Central and Outer.
Have you seen pictures?
Yeah, I've seen pictures. And in fact, I think I've seen old photos where they were like setting up Golden Gate Park to sort of, reduce it.
Yeah.
Those kind of stuff.
Back then, there was a lot of Russian influence and Irish influence in the area. And then now is, very mixed. I would say probably 50% Chinese and still strong Russian influence.
Yeah, there's a lot of Russian bakeries and stores and
Really good ones.
Really good ones. That's one of our favorite parts of Richmond district, actually. The Russian population and the stores.
The grocery stores along Geary, right? You're talking about those.
Specifically Russian stores also. Yeah.
Why? What did you get from Russian stores?
So
he's very passionate about that. So for the new market.
It's just a new world market. And they have this huge section, two sections I love. It's the keffirs, the probiotic drink.
Oh, yeah.
And then there's a Middle Eastern thing, halwas, made of tahini.
Yes.
So I've always been to a lot of Middle Eastern stores, and they usually have one or two types of halwas. But this store, I don't know, they have a huge section of like so many kinds of halwas.
Just nothing but halva?
Yes, there's in a section. And different kinds of farmers' cheese.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. The dairy section is amazing. And all kinds of prepared foods. Russian
Really good
prepared
stuff,
food.
yeah.
I saw that, right?
And it's things you just can't get other places.
No,
it's like
and
very
it's
unique.
so affordable. Affordable. Like, you can fill your stomach for $10.
I saw those cabbage rolls. They have those stuffed cabbage.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Oh, they have a lot of good things. Yeah.
What else?
Chicken cutlets.
Really?
Chicken mushroom cutlets, pirozhkis,
I love
and,
pirozhkis.
blinzes, and
Not terribly healthy
What is
for you.
pirozhki?
It's like pirozhkis are like they put any kind of stuffing inside of this like breaded thing, and then they deep fry it. They do baked ones too, but the deep fried ones, those are the really good. And they're really just greasy and delicious.
Yeah. But they have a lot of healthy options too. The cutlets and all is super healthy. Yeah, fish cutlets.
Okay.
It's just like a lump of meat and mushroom all put together and just baked.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
And very
very
affordable.
good. Very affordable. It's
Tasty stuff too.
Tasty and healthy. I mean, you can just chop one and add it to your salad, and it's a meal. It's just so good.
I need to revisit. I was looking for Turkish Delight. There is one store. They have like lots of Turkish Delight.
Oh, it's probably Royal Bakery.
Probably. Oh, that's it.
It's a little ahead.
Right. I was searching for that.
Yeah. Royal Bakery is another one. You
Okay.
get very good kebabs, very good prepared food,
Okay.
produce and everything.
And Turkish Delight, right? They have the whole section.
They have different kinds of things.
Since we covered a lot of history in other episodes, so we just probably skip that for now. But I want to hear Thomas and Riya's take on Richmond. Amanda, please join in. The story is when they first decided to look for a house, you guys initially had thought you couldn't stay in the city. You were looking at the East Bay. And we talk about the city, say, yeah, it's possible. You can definitely stay here. It's much better.
Yeah.
Do you agree?
Yeah.
And then it's a process. We have to identify areas that you might like, that might work for you. So I remember we had that discussion, but if you can recollect, why Central Richmond? What made Central Richmond so special?
Yeah, I think, so we both love nature.
Right.
And that's also why we love San Francisco, because even if it's a classic city in the true sense, you can just look anywhere and it's just beauty all around. And I was particular that I wanted water bodies near where we lived.
Mm-hmm.
Because, we were living in South Beach before, and I was so, attached to just being able to walk on the Embarcadero and just, have that breath of fresh air. And I was just telling Thomas that, wherever we live, let's have access to nature and good food and things like that. And I think Central Richmond is perfect in that sense because you're just spoiled for choices. Like, I literally have to think, okay, do I go to Baker Beach today, or do I go to Ocean Beach today, or should I go to Land's End, or should I go to Golden Gate Park or Presidio? It's just, I can just go on a walk every day and it just feels different, and it's just stunning. That place, if you love nature, you could just pick a new destination every day and not repeat for days, because even inside the Golden Gate Park, you have the Spreckles Lake, you have the Stowe Lake, you have the Bison Paddock. You can just choose a new route, like every day to walk. And in that sense, I mean, we knew this place was really great, but I guess we didn't know it was this great until we moved.
Until you got here, right?
That everything was, Baker Beach is a mile away, which is nothing.
You can walk there.
Oh, yeah.
We do walk there.
And you bike there, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, you bike there. How long does it take you?
To Baker Beach?
Yeah.
Baker Beach is only 5 minutes.
Yeah, I was going to say 5
minutes. Too short. In fact, the story from my side, I used to bike from Soma to Richmond quite often. So that is how that is like 10 years ago. So I used to begin to love that like 10 years ago. And that's one aspect that really appealed to me. Because like Presidio and then Golden Gate Park, that I was very familiar with that. So that is one part of it. And then once we got married and she moved to US, we always explore Richmond for its food scene, and we are very fond of it.
Okay.
But I must say, it's still surprised us way more than we had actually had understood, because Richmond food scene is mind-blowing.
And I think it's so interesting with a lot of people in San Francisco. There's so many different neighborhoods with different personalities and different things going on. And I was just talking to a client about this yesterday. I said, until you really spend time in a neighborhood, like a lot of time, like living there, for instance, you don't have any idea all of the different things that are going on in that neighborhood. And you'll always be discovering new things. And that's something that's really exciting about San Francisco.
I still remember one conversation we had with a random stranger that we saw on the road when we just moved. This lady that she just happened to come and talk to us, and we said, "Oh, we knew in the new neighborhood, and do you have any recommendations for any restaurants and all that?" She was like, "I don't know. There's just so many, and you'll take a lifetime to try everything. I've been living here for 40 years, and I still haven't gone to all the restaurants. So that's how many there are. Take your time and just."
And new ones pop up.
And when she said that,
I was going to say, there's always new ones.
Yeah, when she said that, we thought, probably she's exaggerating. But no, actually, she was right. Oh my God, there's so many of them. After buying the house over there, when we always used to joke, it's going to be ramen rolls for 1 year because we are broke. But we have not been doing that.
because
it's really good food and affordable prices, and we are so spoiled.
That was a big shocker when we moved from the South Beach to Richmond. The prices of grocery. We, for the longest time, used to think that they've not billed all the items. Like when we buy vegetables.
Oh, you're going to give you a discount? Or
exactly. No, we are not kidding. We actually thought
vegetable stores out there. Like the markets, they're different than like the Whole Foods or the Gus's or whatever. I mean, they definitely have better pricing.
We haven't gone to a Whole Foods or a Trader Joe's ever since we moved.
You don't need to, right?
You don't need to. It's so spoiled for choices. Oh, one of our favorite stores is 25th and Clement, the grocery over there. The pastrami sandwich you get there is the best.
Yeah.
It's like,
is it warm?
It's hot pastrami.
Not warm.
It's so good. and it's like, I think the neighborhood is so warm and friendly. I mean, the owners there, they know you by name, and you have a chit chat, and I guess that way it's very special.
It's very personalized service too, right? Because you go to the butcher shop, ask them to cut and do stuff for you, right?
It's so cool that the name of the butcher in the shop, his name is Michael. Very sweet person. He calls me every time he gets fresh fish.
Seriously, he calls you already.
He has my number, and
this is 1 year in.
That's not. I think it's something like 3 months into.
3 months.
They're killing it.
Yeah,
that's why. They have tried a lot.
Yeah,
clearly.
And he calls me and tells me, I have fresh halibut, I have, this, I have swordfish, whatever. And then I said, please hold on to this for me, And he's so sweet that, we make chicken curry. You've seen how the pieces are cut, right? And
of course.
The thing.
Especially for the Indian cut, it's like it has its unique,
different
sort of cut on how chicken is cut up.
Okay.
I sent him a YouTube video of how it has to be done, and he does such an excellent job of that.
You sent him a YouTube video that he then followed in order to cut your meat correctly. Ask for Michael.
And Michael is the man.
Yeah.
And so is it called the 25th and Clement Market, or does it have a name?
I think
that's the name, and
well, you can find it easily.
It's right at the intersection of 25th and Clement.
Okay.
Right at the corner as you go to Baker Beach, and has the flowers outside. You see it.
Did he do this for just anyone, or have you charmed him?
No, he's very sweet. I'm sure he would do it for anyone.
Okay.
And and the owner of the stores, they're also very sweet, like Roller and Spiros.
Correct.
Oh, you already know their names too.
So we were, in fact, when we bought the house, the previous...
that's how it started.
That's how it started, I should mention that.
Oh, yeah.
So he had specifically asked us to go to the store and go meet them. And we didn't understand, why is he saying that? And then we go there and then we understand. Yeah.
So this is the seller of the home you bought?
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's literally a couple blocks away, right? So it's very convenient.
Correct.
Yeah.
Well, we got to try that place. So.
I mean, you make it sound like it's very much a community and people are...
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's great.
I mean, that's the thing about San Francisco, right? We were talking about West Portal the other day. West Portal, it's its own village, its own community. It sounds like Central Richmond has a lot of that community feel as well. Now, what else is different? So the good things are nature, food, which we're going to cover a lot of that in a bit, cost, and any surprises?
Oh yeah, I mean positive surprises. That is connectivity, like bus connectivity to the city.
Okay.
Because that's one thing which we hadn't researched much on, like how easy or how hard would it be to commute from Richmond to downtown, because we both have jobs where we have to go to the office.
Right.
The bus connectivity.
Like the one California or the 38 Gary?
38. You're spoiled for choices even over there. You can either get on 38 or 5 hour or 1 hour.
It's perfect. It's just so convenient. It's,
That's interesting because that's not something you hear all the time.
I've never heard anybody else saying that.
I think we're very passionate about the 38.
38.
You're the 38 man. The first person saying that. So it's 38 regular, 38 express.
Express. So it's 30
rapid.
30
Okay, rapid. Okay.
Rapid is what, every 5-6 minutes, and
correct.
If the 38, I think is every 4 minutes. I don't know the exact thing, but you don't realize it's just so frequent. And
actually, that's not true that nobody's ever said that before, because I have a client who lives in inner Richmond, basically, and they have to go back and forth, and they were so surprised when they were looking at a house in outer Richmond how fast it was to get from one side to the other. It was like 10 minutes, and they were totally surprised. So they started saying, oh, well, maybe we can go further out because we're so connected. So that,
okay. I never heard. For me, that's the first to hear someone say positive things about 38. Any other surprises? Anything like worth mentioning?
I think the access to different neighborhoods is also very good.
Better than you expected?
It's better than you expected. In a jiff, you reach Japantown.
Okay.
You reach Fillmore. You reach Hayes Valley, Mission.
Yeah. That's true.
These neighborhoods are also so accessible.
Okay. Even going to South Bay, it's easy enough.
Oh, yeah. Correct. That's another thing.
Right.
Absolutely. It does get on 19 then. You're on 280 very quick.
In a car.
In the car, right?
You could access. You could go all the way to Daly City. Yeah,
quite a lot of buses for sure.
Yeah. I think you can. There's some buses take you all the way to Daly City.
Yeah. You can easily go from our house to any part in Sunset, like on the 19th Avenue and all that.
28.
Just yes, 28 or 29. Buses.
Yeah. Well, that's all great news.
Yes.
Now they are real foodies. They love food. They love to explore. Even in 1 year, they've probably been to more places than I have. So let's just talk about some of those places, and see what you know about them. I have Angelina's Deli Cafe, which
that's on California. Right?
Yeah, California, which I visit almost on a weekly basis. So here's I'm going to have a plug for my workout group.
Yeah.
So every Saturday morning, I go to Baker Beach. We have a workout on Baker Beach. A lot of times climbing the stairs and going up.
Every Saturday
morning at 9 o'clock. Weekdays, we're in Golden Gate Park. So that's Koi Fitness, just in case if you're interested. After workout, we all gather at Angelina's to have a breakfast, a brunch.
And they have like a ton of different like deli things that you can pick out. And a lot of variety.
Lots of variety, lots of sandwiches and deli stuff, wine, cheese, all that regular stuff. But it's just a very neighborhoody gathering place. That's the way I put it. Any other restaurants you guys want to talk about? I have like such a long list.
Well, I want to talk about Bread Belly.
Okay.
Bread Belly. As I was saying earlier when we were chatting, when I had my listing over there on 16th Avenue, I made it like a tradition. So every single time I went there, literally every single time I went there, and I tried to try different things, but I just fell in love with the kaya bun. And it was like, I would go in there and get it every time. And it's just this milk bread with a kaya custard inside of it, and it's really decadent and delicious. And they have so many other things. They have so many savory things. And you were saying
shasitu pepper cheese sandwich, really good. The shrimp wedge, Bread Belly is definitely a must try. It's highly, highly recommend.
Dragon Boat. We went there.
Oh yeah.
Right? We went there one time for hot pot. Chinese hot pot.
I've never been there, no.
You never been there? I ordered stuff and they were staring at me like, are you crazy? Like it was like trays and plates and plates and trays.
Yeah.
This is all you can eat. You can have seafood, vegetables, meat.
So you just keep ordering like whatever you want?
Whatever you want.
We thought we over-ordered, but we wiped out everything. We finished the whole thing.
Really?
Especially those fish paste thing.
Oh yeah.
Shrimp
Prawns,
paste.
shrimp paste,
Fish paste.
So is there like one set price and then all you can eat, or?
So it's all you can eat. I think if I remember that right, it's like $42 a person.
Okay.
Which isn't bad because...
Especially if you're hungry, if you go in hungry.
You have to be hungry when you go there. Really high quality food.
Nice.
So it's really good for hot pot. So their specialty actually is dim sum for lunch.
Okay.
It's actually supposed to be one of the best in the city.
Yeah.
Just very high-end Chinese food for dim sum. So you should go back.
Dragon Boat. Mansour.
Yeah. Have you been?
I have been. It's been around forever.
The Egyptian place?
Yeah.
Well, is that Egyptian?
Yeah, it's Egyptian. It's I don't know if it's specifically Egyptian or...
We have not been there.
Yeah, I haven't been there.
But I haven't been there in, I can't tell you how many years, but when I was younger, that was like a special occasion place. And you go, they do the whole thing where they wash your hands with rose water and they have belly dancers and the whole thing. Like they share plates and...
They still have it. Belly dancers. It surely is experience. Adds a little different flavor to Central Richmond. One good thing about Central Richmond, or one interesting thing about Central Richmond, is really variety of food. You really get everything, right? So Farella,
Italian stuff.
Italian, right? It's actually considered one of the most reasonable ones in the city, price wise.
Yeah,
and food is excellent. Really good pizza.
I think they just opened one in Noe Valley.
Probably.
I mean, here.
We just saw that.
Probably because they are in Sunset. As well.
That's on our list.
On our list,
But
you should try that. That's good as well. Han Tu Kwan. I don't know how to say this.
Hanil Kwan.
Hanil
Kwan. Very good. We've gone there so many times. Galbi Jim, the kimchi jjigae. They have beef soup, spicy beef soup. We love the place.
Yeah, me too.
Gone there so many times.
So I don't know if you remember the story behind Hanil Kwan.
Oh yeah,
there's a story.
So the first time we heard about this place was when we are like going for open houses. So we happened to go to an open house like this few blocks down, like away from Hanil Kwan, and we go to this house. We didn't like the house immediately, and we are about to like step out, but then we happened to chat with the real estate agent at open house that day. And immediately we both established, we both parties like food. And then he was like recommending Hanil Kwan so much that you have to go there. It
is good, right?
Yeah,
it's good. Yeah.
Hanil Kwan is very good.
Yeah.
So he was right.
Absolutely right. Especially the side dishes. That's one thing I like most about Korean food. This particular place. It's just
so it's
Korean place. It's a Korean barbecue place.
Yeah, in fact, we had taken one of our friends who used to live in Korea for 2 years. Veena.
She loved it.
And she loved it. She said, this is like straight out of Korea.
Sashimi marketplace. It's on Giri.
Hokkaido. So good. We bought sushi from there several times. Yeah, really.
So it's a sushi restaurant, or is it like a marketplace?
It's marketplace.
It's a marketplace, and I forgot the price. It's like $9, $10 or something.
And really good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, hard to believe it's from a store.
Yeah.
Really?
It's a relatively new place. I think it just opened maybe a year or so. And it's like sashimi and sushi.
I love
freshly
sushi.
made.
Good sushi.
So good.
It is very good.
So many places with sashimi and all that. There's Kitaru. That's also very good. It's impossible to list all the...
Yeah. I mean, we could be here all night.
It will not be done. Yeah.
All the different types of places.
Yeah, so I guess I got to move on quickly.
Pizzetta 211. I'm just throwing that out there because it's a place that have you been to Pizzetta 211?
No.
That's
also on our list. Pizzetta is also on our list, but heard so much about it.
I remember when it very first opened, which now is like a very long time ago, but it still in my head seems like it was new for some reason. But now it's an old restaurant, but it's so small. It's like a little tiny, intimate, thin crust pizza place, and they have really good like natural wines and things, if you like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But it's very intimate and small. So when they're busy, it's very difficult to
They
get
have
in.
like tables outside or wait area outside now, right? You can just hang out.
Yeah.
I remember having a cauliflower pizza there with eggs.
Cauliflowers with egg? That does not sound good.
It was excellent. It was excellent. I mean, that's the surprising part. I remember cauliflower pizza. I remember egg on top of it, which is not something you generally order, right? Yeah. Joe's ice cream.
Joe's ice cream is also on our list, but haven't gone there. But very popular. It's always crowded.
It's also an institution, I guess.
It's an institution, and you see people eating burgers there, and a lot of small kids, and
That's
definitely looks very popular.
Lakma, we went there.
Oh yeah, we went there.
Lakma is excellent. Have you been?
I haven't. I've seen it.
Yeah,
I have not been in it.
It's really, really good.
What type of food is it?
Mediterranean.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think if you go for lunch, they have Turkish breakfast. And then they will have like salads and the burgers and stuff like that for lunch. But for dinner is where they have all the specialty items. Short ribs. I think I love their short ribs. Octopus.
We had
hummus.
A lot of different dips.
Hummus.
Yeah.
Hummus and different dips. Yeah. Also good wine list, if I remember correctly.
We also like tea and margarita there.
You do like it?
Yeah.
That's also an old one.
It's an old school. This was like 25 years ago. And we go take our martial arts class with my girlfriends, with like 3 of my girlfriends. And then we would go to tea and margarita afterwards. So margaritas and Mexican food and
Yeah, it's still packed. I see a lot of people there still.
Very popular.
Very popular, right?
And the drinks are so good.
Yeah.
So good.
It's just such a good atmosphere. It's
very nice.
It's like fun, nice, just
very casual.
Yes, casual.
Ocean's Indian. I told you guys about it.
Yeah, you've been there.
Yeah, what are your thoughts?
It's definitely a good, Indian food option.
Okay.
It's very close to our house, and it's, I think, the first restaurant we went to. We also like Chaska a lot.
I heard about it. I haven't tried. Yeah, Chaska is a new one.
Is that also Indian?
Yeah, that's Indian.
So another thing I noticed lately is there are a bunch of Indian places opened up.
Yeah.
There's another Touch. Also,
this just recently opened, and we tried that one also. But Chaska, we've tried the chicken curry. They all feel very homely.
Oh yeah.
And biryani, I heard the chicken biryani is awesome.
We had the lamb biryani.
Lamb biryani.
That was good.
Pretty good.
That was good.
Okay, so biryani is the thing to order.
And this is coming from a person who I generally don't like biryanis from restaurants.
You don't?
Yeah.
Because we cook it at home and we like it in a different way.
Very specific, but this was actually pretty good. And
how about their naan? Is it good? They do a good job with the naan?
Yeah. The Chaska naan is good.
Okay. Yeah, so Chaska is supposed to be the place to try. The list of restaurants are still very long, but anything in particular that you guys feel strongly about that we got to know, our listeners should know.
We also like the PPQ.
PPQ.
That's so close.
That's so also very old, right? But they moved.
Correct.
They moved from Clement to Giri.
Correct.
Yeah, we love that place. Anchi, the Vietnamese place.
Vietnamese, yeah.
Very good.
That's our home.
Yeah. So PPQ basically have set crab meals. If you like crabs, you can have crabs, garlic noodles, and salad, and other things like a set.
Yeah.
So it's great for a big group.
What about Dim Dodok?
Yeah, Dim Dodok is not a restaurant. They sell dim sums and frozen dim sums.
It's like $1 or something. It's so cheap and it's so tasty. Okay. Freshly made rice rolls and dumplings and pork buns.
Yeah.
I'm getting so hungry.
Yeah. So good.
Maybe at lunch.
That's part they have frozen dumplings. So our freeze always have dumpling from Dim Dodok.
I have been hearing that from them ever since they moved. They said, we found this dumpling place. I want to tell you about this dumpling place, right?
And we also like Dumpling Dynasty. That I believe is in Central Richmond.
That should be.
Oh, that's okay.
I mean, the reality is when you're in Inner Richmond, you can get to Outer or Inner Richmond quite easily.
Yeah.
It's so easy.
Each other.
Balboa Theatre.
But
is that Outer?
Outer Richmond.
Yeah, that's correct.
But you can get there pretty
easily. Yeah, it's really close.
Okay. So let's talk about schools a little bit. There's Alamo. There's Argonne. Argonne, actually, interesting enough, is the only year-round school. I know of. Like most schools follow a calendar, right? The kids get out in June and they come back August. Argonne actually has summer school. So kids that get like 4 weeks off or something, and they start back in July. It's really good for parents who don't want to deal with long summer vacations or summer camps. And there's a Presidio Middle School, which is supposed to be one of the best, but it's more on the outer Richmond side. We got St. Monica's. That's on Gary. That's a Catholic school. We also get Stratford. They just opened a new campus, I believe, on 14th Avenue in Balboa. So Stratford is a private school. If you guys don't know, it's a very demanding, high academic kind of private school. Let's talk about events. You guys heard the music last 2 weekends in a row now, right?
Yeah.
You could hear it from your house?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I could hear it from my
Was that good or was that bad?
It was good.
Okay.
We didn't mind it.
Yeah.
Good for
Living in the
local
city,
business.
culture, life.
Yeah.
So for our listeners, we had 2 weekends of festivals. We had Outside Lands, which is the biggest, I'll say the biggest music festival.
Also most expensive, I think.
Is it?
Yeah.
I don't even know how much a ticket costs
Yeah,
anymore.
people are digging holes and like hiding their
Alcohol.
alcohol
Yes.
in the ground before they go, like days before the festival. And then when they go in, they go and find their
Really?
hidden
Yeah.
alcohol.
Is it
Yeah.
for real?
That's
Yeah.
for real, yeah.
Because food and drinks are expensive.
Very expensive.
So you mean like I can go there 5 days before, find a corner and
Dig
dig
a
a
hole.
hole and
I mean, you're not
market-
supposed to. It's not
Sure,
illegal,
I mean,
but
okay, don't do that. Officially, no, don't do it. But,
but
you
people
know.
were doing it for sure.
Yeah, so it's a 3-day event. It's generally the first weekend of August. And the weather generally is a little foggy here. But we have huge attendance. I checked. It's anywhere between 250,000 to 275,000
It's very popular.
people.
Yeah.
Area.
Yeah.
I don't know that's like by day or multiple days. I don't know how that's tracked, but very large event. Started in 2008.
I went to the very first Outside Lands.
You did.
Wow.
I was going to ask if you
Yeah.
have. I haven't.
Radiohead was playing, I believe. That was so
No
yeah.
kidding. But how? Let's say, how was the festival?
Oh, it was great, but it was not as big as it is now. I mean, it was very popular, but it's become like a whole nother thing.
Right.
But they did have, fancy booths and things. And I think this year they had like cannabis stuff. They may have done it last year too.
It
I
has
don't
been
know.
around for.
But that wasn't there in 2008.
Yeah, I can't imagine.
Yeah.
It wasn't legal back then, right?
Right. Correct.
So now supposedly that's a big part of it.
I'm sure, yeah.
And we've actually decided next year we're going to get a day pass and actually attend the festival because people they come from so far
And you can just walk there.
we can just walk there.
You don't
and,
have to look for parking.
No.
No.
Exactly.
Right.
So
Or
it's
take a smashed bus with other people.
But yeah, the crowd was so different that's a thing. So
Yeah,
I mean,
it's
so
different.
so
Different,
meetings
yeah.
from our house, we get to see a lot of people like walking towards this. Outside Lands, as a lot of people may know, it's so colorful, vibrant, and those kind of stuff. So the crowd always is dressed up that way. The last weekend for System of a Down, it was predominantly black jeans, black t-shirt, tattoos, and those kind of stuff. So the crowd was like
very
so different actually.
That's
That's
interesting. I never thought about that, but I'm sure you're right. And I think most people are actually coming from out of the town, right? That's my understanding.
A lot of people, yes,
right? They're
definitely.
actually not locals.
Yeah.
A lot of locals get out of town. That's what I've been hearing. So supposedly the festival Outside Land is a love letter to San Francisco. Because even the stages are named after our neighborhoods: Panhandle, Land's End, Twin Peaks, Sutro, and Presidio. I never thought about it that way, but that's just very interesting that it's a festival about our city.
Yeah.
And
then the Hardly Strictly Bluegrass Festival.
yeah.
That is so awesome because it's free. They have a whole bunch of different setups and screens, and Emmylou Harris is pretty much always there.
Okay.
But
that's coming up beginning of October.
Right.
So
Before that, we also have the flower piano.
yes,
That's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
it's lovely.
Yeah.
It's really,
It's got
really
so much
lovely.
love, yeah.
I used to always go to the reggae festival in the park.
When's
Now I'm
that?
dating myself because I don't know if they have it anymore. It used to get kind of rowdy and crazy.
They also have opera in the park, which I haven't been to that either. So that'll be something to check out.
So many things.
Yeah.
Comedy Day. I did not
I've
know
heard
that.
about that.
Yeah, that I've
Comedy
heard that.
Day is pretty famous. I have
Really?
friends who go for that. every
Yeah.
year. Yeah.
And even at the bench shell, they have some performance like every week or a few days a week in summer. If you guys go check on the schedule, and they're just bands, different music playing all the time. So all kinds of events. Egg hunt, Bay to Breakers. Okay.
Well, yeah.
Amanda.
That's a big one. Well, no, I mean, I've run in the Beta Breakers. I've walked in the Beta Breakers. I mean,
I've walked. I haven't done, but I've walked. Yeah.
I wasn't trying to win the Beta Breakers. That's for
Did
sure.
you dress up?
Not really. No, I didn't.
Okay.
But I looked at all the people dressed up and found them entertaining.
Very entertaining.
It is, and it gets crazier and crazier every year. And I mean,
it's not a serious marathon thing.
Yeah, although there are some serious runners who are in the very front of it, but that is not the majority.
It's not the point of it.
For fun, right?
Yeah.
It's really
1912 is when it started.
Really? Wow.
Definitely a
That's
tradition.
pretty old.
1912.
So another thing interesting about Central Richmond, there is disc golf course.
Oh, yeah.
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 The entrance at 26th Avenue
That's
and
So close to
Fulton,
it.
right?
Yeah.
And do you guys play?
We don't, but we see people
You see
play.
people play.
Yeah.
Because we have to see, because otherwise you have discs like
Flying away.
Pay attention. I made that mistake a few times. I walked straight into that course not knowing.
Yeah.
But it seemed to be like very popular.
Oh,
Lots and
yeah.
lots of people playing, right?
Definitely looks like a fun sport. I would want to try it actually one day.
And you should.
What we do is we go to Speckles Lake and we drive the boat.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Which
yeah. I
we
love doing that.
Boat
there's
as in it's a remote control.
Oh, I heard about that. So tell me more.
So
Serena got him a toy boat as
Okay.
a gift, as a birthday gift.
the Speckles Lake, there's a lake made just for recreation boat. So apparently people in San Francisco used to have toy boats, but they used to do it on the other lake, Stove Lake.
Okay.
Mhm.
But there you also have the full-size boats where people are on it,
Okay.
and that was messing up with the toy boats.
Oh.
So that became an issue, and then somebody decided, we need a lake just for the toy boats, and
Okay.
that's the origin story of
Wow, that's
Speckles
really
Lake,
cool.
actually.
That's interesting.
1904 is when that opened.
Yeah, it's so fascinating. I mean,
Wow.
even back then, toy boats was such a thing.
But was not remote controlled electric
Wind powered.
wind power boat.
Yeah,
Then you
and
just
even now you would
let
see
it go and you hope for the best, or you jump
I
in
know,
the
how do
lake,
you
or
like
what do you
that?
do?
Yeah.
You
What do you
should
do?
see
You should see. So in fact,
people who come.
there are like two sections of people. There's like a huge gang with pretty like massive boats,
Yeah.
like battery powered boats,
Okay.
and they're very serious about it.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
show
they're
up
like
every
robot-
weekend.
Whoever's playing, they're all like, very serious people, probably.
Who've
Yeah.
been doing it for years and
For
years.
decades,
Yeah.
actually. Yeah.
They have their own community and they discuss about the boats and
There's another section where they have these wind powered boats, and they don't come every weekends, but you do see them quite often.
Okay.
So those boats are, like you said, you kind of set it on the lake, and the wind catches it, and then it's pretty much on its own until it kind of approaches the edge of the lake, and that's when you sort of poke it around.
Right.
So you have a long stick of
Yeah.
following the boat around. Okay.
on Mondays you do the polo field
Oh yeah,
practice session.
Oh, so you practice at polo field,
Yeah.
going around in circles?
that's right.
Okay.
Oh yeah, and that is actually one of the biggest surprises for me. Actually, after moving to Richmond,
Mhm.
Uh-huh.
I did not even know there was such a thing over there.
Yeah.
And this is something which I'd actually searched for a few years ago.
Really?
Yeah, and the closest thing I could find was Velodrome, which is a proper biking thing, I think close in San Jose. And I decided, that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Then, we moved to Richmond, and I literally stumbled up on this bike track. And then, it's been a blessing, actually. I use it quite often.
Well, that's a good surprise.
I see
Yeah.
people training there all the time.
When I was in elementary school, we went to the polo fields and we would do the Olympics. And we would do all these different sports and
Sports,
stuff
right, yeah.
in the polo fields. That was fun.
Yeah.
And just going quickly back to the Beta Breakers, it did start as a way to lift the city's spirits after the 1906
So
earthquake.
it's related to the earthquake.
Yeah, it is. That's why
Okay.
they started it. And during World War II, the participation sometimes slipped below 50 registrants.
Mhm.
And
50.
50. But then they carried it on. In 1986, there was 110,000. And at that point, it was recognized in the Guinness Book of World Records as the world's largest foot race. There you go. But yeah, no, it's interesting. And then in 2009 is when they banned no floats, no alcohol, drunkenness, or nudity.
No nudity?
I know.
I
just
just
because
saw
they
it.
say you can't do it.
Saw them.
Just because they say you can't do it doesn't mean people don't do it.
Right. That's like the first thing I had to explain to my kids when we first moved over here.
So in San Francisco, you can do or be anything.
Anything. It's just like,
it's all good. Do whatever you like.
All right. So, which lead to one of our last topics I want to touch on quickly. So we talk about transportation. We're talking about how good the bus lines are in San Francisco. But if you look at the transit map of San Francisco, majority of the transportation are on the east side and or the west portal, like the south side. The Richmond side is actually not covered by underground trains. So supposedly, this proposal came up every 10, 20 years. It's just never been proved. The idea is to have a subway in the Richmond subway project to link all the transit systems. So from outer Richmond to downtown would just be a matter of minutes. I don't know how long it takes now, maybe 20, 30 minutes, I'm guessing.
Yeah, it takes us 30 minutes, from one bus stop to the other.
The idea is it's going to be like sort of like BART, the speed of BART. So it'd be pretty fast. And it will require a second Transbay terminal. And then all the systems will actually link together. The western part of town would be much better connected. And there will be also lines for Richmond to Daly City, because that's the other direction that we don't really have good coverage. And that will support the housing projects in Jonestown area, all the new constructions they're planning. So that's the vision. But just the Richmond part, that's at least 15 years and $15 billion as of today. And right now, it's just a study, evaluation. We don't know how long it's going to take to come to reality. And this idea started in 1930s. And we don't have them yet. So they just tell you how easy it is to implement or how likely.
Yeah, I mean, you go to a lot of other big cities and they have an underground system that's really connected.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Which we don't. And one of the reasons is because of the geography of San Francisco and our earthquakes.
Yeah.
That too. That's certainly part of the issue, right? If you're interested, you can find more information at Connect SF. Now, let's wrap it up. So, Richmond, what we like about Richmond, it's very centrally located. It's close to lots of beautiful places. And it has fantastic restaurant scene. And it's very friendly.
You can get great groceries at good prices. I like that.
Yes, it got great festivals. Anything else I'm missing? A transit. Apparently, it's pretty good too.
Yeah.
So
it does get foggy, but I don't think it's as bad as the Sunset.
No, definitely, it's much better than Sunset. Sunset gets foggy.
I think when we wake up, it's a bit foggy, but then it clears up, like at 10 o'clock or something in the morning. 11 o'clock.
So it's good. It's like air conditioning.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. So yeah, especially I love that part. I mean, in fact, very few days it gets hot, like in quotes, where we have to wonder, should we take out the fan?
Yeah.
I mean, when the rest of the Bay Area is having heat wave, we are still thinking, should we turn on the fan?
You don't need AC ever.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a real thing outside of San Francisco and even just outside of some neighborhoods.
So what are some downsides?
Downsides?
Yeah.
The only thing I can think of is probably, but I think that applies to any part of SF, right? Because of the shape.
Like what?
Going from one part to the other part.
Right.
Just, I guess, any mode of transport, even if you drive.
Correct. Yeah. It takes
the
time.
Signals.
Yeah.
It takes time, even though you're not covering a lot of distance.
Oh yeah.
So,
it's a 7 miles. The whole city is a 7x7. So would you recommend this Central Richmond area to people who are thinking about it, who are considering it?
Oh yeah, definitely. With the caveat for the fog, because I realize a lot of people have problem with fog. Like
Right.
they need the sun every day.
Yeah.
If that's not a problem, oh yeah, highly recommend.
More land, better food, cheaper, but more fog. Well, thank you so much for coming. I really appreciate your time today.
Learned a lot.
So we will see you next time.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.